Still Snoop Dogg and D.I. Nah, nigga. Guess who's back? Still doing that shit, Andre? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Check me out.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another week, ManCave Radio. I'm Gus.
Scott.
Well, thanks for tuning in last week. Sal was not here. He had a great joke last week.
Yeah.
He lightened up the show. It was pretty funny. But we were here, and we're going to take it over, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the Niners. What happened last week?
Not
Against
much.
the Rams.
Not much again. It was another disgusting game. A lot of poor football going on right now in San Francisco. Obviously, you've seen or heard, I'm sure by now, that they decided to bench Kaepernick in favor of Blaine Gabbert, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know about their situation. Vernon Davis, they traded to the Broncos for, I think they got
a 6th-round draft pick, which I think is actually a good move.
Well, they're
for
not
Denver.
For
Denver.
Well, yes.
Because Peyton Manning loves to throw to his tight ends, and I think, to be honest with you, I think he's going to do well over there. I don't know if he's going to be the piece that puts him over the top.
He might not be the piece that puts him over the top, but he is more athletic than an Owen Daniels, and he can stretch the field more and get more vertical than, let's say, an Owen Daniels. And, I mean, Peyton Manning might not have the arm strength that he used to, but he could still obviously get it to a guy like Vernon Davis who can kind of, get himself open more than maybe like an Owen Daniels. So we'll see what happens. I think, obviously, it hurts to kind of see a guy like Vernon Davis go, but you got to understand at the situation they're in right now, the Niners are kind of rebuilding, so we're going to see a lot of good names probably go this next year at the end of the offseason, guys like Anquan Bolden, maybe I've heard even Navarro Bowman, guys like that. So Joe Staley, I've heard rumblings of Navarro Bowman too.
I just don't understand.
Because he's such a liability. They're saying in pass coverage he's not the same after his knee injury. He's not as fast, but he's still the second leading tackler in the league in tackles. He's second in the league.
Well, he's a hell of a football player. I don't understand why.
That one was baffling to me too.
Basically what's going on there is a fire sale. That's what's going on.
Yep. Rebuilding.
And then you got Carlos Hyde who's out again. His foot's still hurt.
Oh, Pierre Thomas they signed, but I mean, because Reggie Bush is injured, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, the Pierre Thomas what was he sitting on the couch at home?
Well, it's funny that you say it. I was just joking about that with my brother last night. I was like, he's probably sitting on his couch eating potato chips. He's like, we want you back in. He's like, I'm coming. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, that's just obviously a pickup just for, extra depth on the depth chart. I mean, so.
Well, but who do they have starting now?
Mike Davis, I believe.
That's
the rookie from South Carolina.
There you go.
I think that's it. Him and Pierre Thomas are leading the backfield. And Blaine Gabbert's under center. But hey, it's actually interesting. I was watching this week on NFL Network. They have a segment with Maurice Jones-Drew. And we know Maurice Jones-Drew used to play for the Jaguars. He played 9 seasons in the NFL.
And he was with the Raiders. His best season actually ever in the NFL was with the Raiders.
That's right. There you go.
He did a hell of a job.
But he actually vouched for Blaine Gabbert. He said, I understand, from the outside looking in, the guy's had rough years. He hasn't done anything in the NFL. He's like, but I honestly believe, he's like, and I played next to him, the guy's a rhythm quarterback. You get him in a rhythm. He plays well. And I think he was thrown into the fire too early with not enough weapons around him in Jacksonville. And if you look at his career numbers, I believe he's got 23 touchdowns, 24 interceptions.
Well, he's not
still
a bad
young
quarterback.
We'll see.
If you have MJD behind you, he did play in Concord. He played for De La Salle, so if anybody knows about winning, MJD knows about winning.
That's right. And he vouched for him. He actually predicted on that show. He's like, I called the Niners and Blaine Gabbert upsetting the Falcons this week. He's like, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see about that. All right, let's go ahead and go across the bay. Let's get over to the Raiders. You called it, and that was your upset, and what a hell of a pick, because not only did they beat them, but they put the boots to them. They were
34-20 shellacking, baby.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Matter of fact, my wife and the girls, they were in Costco and they got home, and I'm like, hey, and the Raiders must be winning. I go, winning? they're killing them right now.
They are playing well.
And it wasn't even like the week prior when they were letting San Diego back in the game.
Right.
They let New York score there at the end, but there was no chance. They put it to them. And the New York's defense was number 2 ranked in the NFL.
Number 2, and you obviously got Darrelle Revis back at Gilchrist. You got guys in that secondary that honestly, looking at Derek Carr, I mean, we know the guy has been solid and he's shown flashes, but he showed some guts that game.
He won hell of a game.
330+ yards and 4 touchdown passes against that secondary.
Well, then you got Woodson too. Get another pick. What's he got? Like 6 picks this season? 5 or 6. I mean,
that guy's ageless.
Yeah, I mean, and then he goes to the sideline. I don't know if you saw when he went to the sideline. He picked that ball. He went to the sideline and he started going like that, going Raiders to the fans. That was kind of cool, man. It was really cool as a Raider fan. We get excited for stuff like that.
I just love that guy regardless, man. I mean, he's the prototypical, if you're like a young, guy who's aspiring to play football, you look at that guy, man. He's never changed the way he's played.
Never.
Ever since I've seen him playing football, and he's older, and you see guys when they're getting older, kind of, missing a step and losing a step. He's freaking right there. I think he's probably going to be a Pro Bowler again this year.
Well, right now, I mean, he's pretty close.
How do you say not?
How do you say not? Well, there's a lot of good safeties in the league.
There is, but he's
up there.
For how old he is, and for the doubters against him, I mean, he's going for it. So good for him, man.
We're excited about it in Raider Town. So we'll see what happens this week. Let's get into the conspiracy theory, which is Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. Peyton's going to be in Indy. This weekend he's going to be throwing in Indy. He's got a chance to break Brett Favre's passing mark.
Yep, 284 yards is all Peyton Manning has to throw for to pass Brett Favre all-time passing yards.
And wouldn't it be something to do in Indy? The team that drafted him gave up at him.
Yep.
And that's why it's conspiracy because, you got to watch those chemtrails in the sky and all that stuff.
Hey, refs have been paid off. We don't know. We've seen what Don King has done in the past with boxing. So
Don King.
We don't know. He had the crazy hair. That was a conspiracy all in itself. But we'll get into that another time.
What? I've never heard that before.
There's no conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
It sounded cool.
I don't know. But you're serious.
But no, in all seriousness, I think Peyton Manning's gonna throw for more than 284 yards, and I think he won't admit it to anybody. But Peyton Manning knows that the record's up for grabs, and he's a super competitive guy. He wants, and what better place to do it than Indianapolis? I think he's gonna have an extra little drive, not that he doesn't already. To play
it pushes him. That guy, he's always got something. Scott, go ahead and give me your top 5.
Top 5 teams
in the NFL. Top 5 teams in the NFL.
Well, obviously the Patriots. Nobody's gonna argue with that one. You got the Panthers. Obviously,
sure.
They're still undefeated. The Bengals still impressing me. They're undefeated. I got who else did I have as my top 5? The Packers. Packers, obviously. I mean, they had a rough week last week against the Broncos. Aaron Rodgers had an uncharacteristic game.
He did.
But
the Broncos defense is really good. They are really good. They're
Broncos defense. I mean, we know that. Well, the Broncos defense, I feel like matched up too so well against Aaron Rodgers because they're more of a man-based defense. And for some reason, man, the receivers on the Packers, they couldn't find open space, man. And with the freaking pressure they were putting on Aaron Rodgers, he had no time to extend plays or anything. So I think
they took Green Bay out of the game.
Yeah, so I think that ended up being their demise. Another team that I'm really impressed with, I'd say is who did I pick already? Vikings, Bengals.
Well, you got your undefeateds, right?
Yeah, my undefeateds.
So that's the Broncos, the Panthers,
the Bengals.
I
had the Patriots up there, and then the Packers.
So there's your 5.
So there's my 5.
Okay. My 5. Well, those are just bunched together. No particular order there.
Yeah, it's just my top 5. There's other teams that impress me right now, but for right now,
I like the Patriots. They're number 1 for me.
Right.
Got the Patriots. I mean, they're just unstoppable. They're like that train. I mean, we talked about last week. They could go undefeated.
Yep.
And then
hard to do.
Yeah, which is really hard to do. Then I've got believe it or not, I thought maybe I think the Broncos. I didn't think the Broncos were gonna win last week, but after seeing what they see, if you put them up even against the Panthers, I think they beat the Panthers. I like the Broncos. Then I got the Bengals at number 3. The Bengals one hell of a game against Johnny Manziel and the Browns.
Yeah.
Who I bet on the Browns like an idiot. And then I've got the Panthers at number 4.
Right.
And then you know what? Yeah, I do like the Packers there at my 5th spot, but I don't know if I could stick with the Packers there. It's
really
well, I do like them. But I also do like the. You know what? I do. Yeah, let me give me the Packers there. I'll say the Packers. My top 5 is pretty much the same as yours. I'll go with the Packers at 5, but there's some other teams that are close. I mean, the season's it's about halfway now.
Yeah.
So that's there you go. So that being said, the season's halfway. So give me some midseason awards here. Give me what do you think is Coach of the Year this year?
Coach of the Year
so far at the midseason, if you had to think about it.
I'd say who's the coach of the frickin' Vikings? Right? I'd say the
Zimmer.
Yeah, Zimmer. I was blanking on his name.
Yeah.
I think Zimmer, just because of, I mean, it's not like obviously the Vikings are undefeated and they're like tearing doors down. But if you look at the Vikings and at first a lot of people were like, especially when they lost San Francisco first, I don't know about the Viking, but Teddy Bridgewater, man, he's kind of came into his own. You got guys like Stephon Diggs who are kind of making a name for themselves.
He's doing really well.
Just for that aspect and where they're at and how they're being talked about for the playoff picture, I think that Zimmer deserves a vote for coach, just for what he's been able to do with that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Zimmer. That's a pretty good pick, but I got to go with Rivera.
That's a good
Panthers.
Pick. Yeah.
Because everybody was talking about the Panthers were around. That's true. The Panthers were not going to be as good as they are now. I mean, they're undefeated, and not only undefeated, but they look really good. I do like Rivera. He'd be my Coach of the Year as of right now. Rookie of the Year.
It's a tough one. There's 2 guys that I have in mind for that, and it's Gurley and Amari Cooper, which I'm sure that's the argument between those 2 guys. But man, that's a really tough one. I think at this point right now, I think I'm gonna have to pick Todd Gurley.
You got Gurley, okay?
Just because it's been 4 games in a row where he's had 123 plus all-purpose yards. That's 4 games in a row. I mean, so that's showing. I mean, obviously Amari Cooper has had 3 games over.
He's had 3 over 100 yards.
That's impressive too.
I think they're about tied in touchdowns. Gurley's done really well. I don't know. As a Raiders fan, I want to say Cooper, but yeah, I agree with you.
They're both really neck and neck.
But I just gotta say Cooper. It's Cooper for me, obviously, as a Raider fan. I watched the guy. He's on my fantasy team.
Right.
That guy's good. MVP.
I think right now, MVP for me, Tom Brady.
I agree with that pick, and that's my pick.
But it just sucks to say that because it's like.
Well, why does it suck?
It doesn't suck, but it's just like, you almost, it's just like, okay, we know that.
Good,
like, fucking it's Tom Brady, you know what I mean?
The guy's good.
He is good.
You can't, I mean, the guy's amazing. But I agree with what you're saying, and not about it sucks, but it is Brady for me as well. But I was watching, pardon the interruption, the other day to talk about is Andy Dalton your MVP? Is Cam Newton your MVP? Peyton Manning? No. They are. Don't get me wrong. Dalton's good and Newton's good, but Brady's look at what he's doing.
They're just
against the Jets.
But
he was the leading rusher and the passer.
Yeah,
he accounted for 98% of their 95% of all their yards on offense.
You're absolutely right, and I think
how can it not be fucking Tom Brady?
Well, and even beyond that, I mean, you look at like, okay, yeah, guys like Andy Dalton, yeah, he's brought his team to the playoff, but it's like you got to look at the consistency too. Tom Brady, every year that he's freaking played, man, they're in the conversation as one of the better teams. I mean, so for me, in that aspect, I mean, I know you're not supposed to look at the past. We're looking at, the present right now, but just because of his consistency and how he does this every year and he just makes it look so goddamn easy.
And then this year he's making it look really easy.
Yeah, so he's my MVP.
Yeah, I agree. I understand it was Deflate, this and that. Forget all that.
Yeah.
The guy's amazing. He's on a mission this year. All right, let's go ahead and go up. Lock of the week, Scott.
My lock of the week this week is Peyton Manning and the Broncos over the Colts in Indy, just because of what we talked about, the extra little push of, he's got a record on the line, he's got something to prove to the fans in Indianapolis and the ownership saying, hey, you shouldn't have gave up on me, so I'm taking the Broncos as my lock over the Colts.
You know what? I like that as well, but since you picked that, I'm going to go with the Falcons over the Niners.
Oh, okay. See, that's my upset.
I know it is. And that's not a reason why I said that. So that's your upset, the Niners, to beat the Falcons?
It actually is. And not because the Niners are a better team than the Falcons. The Falcons are a superiorly better team than the Niners, but I think right now the Falcons are they're playing a little bit wounded. They're just not firing on all cylinders. I know Julio Jones had over 100 yards last game. He was normal. And I think we'll have a good game this game, but I don't think it's going to be.
So you owe me 5 for that one. We going to go 5 on this one?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, 5 on this one. So that's your upset.
That's my upset.
That's my lock.
Yep.
My upset of the week is because the Panthers are underdogs, believe it or not, to Green Bay.
That's crazy.
And I think the Panthers are going to beat them. I think the Panthers will stay undefeated. I think they're going to beat them. That's my upset. I know what you say about Rodgers and coming off a bye, how well he does this.
Look at his stats.
They're playing in Carolina. I think the Panthers are a lot better than a lot of people are giving them. I'm going to go the Panthers as my upset. And it really isn't. To me, it's funny to think that's an upset, but there you go. So Panthers and Falcons, my lock and upset of the week.
All right.
And who did you get again? You got the Broncos.
I got the Broncos over the Colts, and then the Niners upsetting the Falcons.
All right. Okay, so there you go. There's the YouTube. Hey, do us a favor here. Go to the podcast. You can listen to us on podcast. We're going to get in depth, go over our picks last week, a few other things, Hardy, King, stuff like that. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a good time with it. All right. We'll see you next week. We'll see you on the podcast.
That's right.
On the lot, cause my frequent spots that I'm known to rock. You hear the bass from the truck when I'm on the block. Ladies, they say homage, but haters say straight along. Pound nigga, my last